Right, here we go. Welcome to week 24. Right, this is just to go over. I can't remember the last time I did this. So the training the training that I'm doing, right, it's separated into 8 weeks. So each phase is 8 weeks long, and week 6 of each phase is always the hardest week, and that's what I've just done. It basically week 6 basically asks for 100%. It asks for everything that you've got. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it today. Today is Sunday, and I've just done 6 days. But anyway, enough of me complaining. Let me. I'll get into the data. There's quite a bit of data to go through. So let's get into that first. So here we go. This is the first of many. Well, I say many. I think I'm over exaggerating here. So this is what I was saying, right? This is week 6. So the target was 210 kilometers each day, Monday to Thursday, and then because this phase is focusing on elevation, right? So then Friday was down to Brighton and back. So yeah, each of the days were completed. You can you can definitely tell that I was getting more and more tired each day. Look at the so 210 first day, 218 and 212. So we're down 6 kilometers, and then down to 210.35 and then 210.1. That was like just wanting to get back. That's basically what it was. I think if we look at the average speed, we look at the average speed as well. It's just like there's 2 kilometers difference, 2 kilometers per hour difference between Friday and Thursday. So yeah, I was definitely getting worse. Although the funny thing is, the number of jobs I was doing was getting more. And then we've got the elevation. So yeah, for this table, what we're after is complete. Everything's positive. So it's green already green. So then we progress on to the next week. So that's all we're concerned about here. The next one. So this is right for the fatigue resistance test. Yeah. So the last one I did was 18th of April, and then this was yesterday, 19th of May. So this was the before the test, the Monday to Friday. So the distance that I'd done, and the elevation as well. So we can see that this increase is for the previous one, which I haven't added onto this, but I've left it. So just ignore these, right? We're focused on these ones, and really should do some better cleaning of data first to get rid of this shit. Anyway, so there has been an increase. There's been a 10%, or almost a 10%, well 9.66% increase in kilometers. Trying to sell myself up there, and a 6%, over 6% increase in elevation from one test to another. Yeah, so we're talking what, 3 weeks? It was week 3 and week 6 of the fatigue test. Yeah. So in 3 weeks difference, in 3 weeks I have increased the distance by 9.66% and increase the elevation by 6.26%, right? So that's what we're dealing with going into the test, an increase in distance and elevation. Then we get into the test, right? So this is a 3 hour long I'm trying to think of a good word to say here. 3 hour consistent output, right? Basically looking at 83 revolutions per minute, plus or minus like one. It should give something like 150 watts, something like that. A couple of mistakes here. Slipping on the on the bike. I remember that just at the end. Then immediately after 3 hours, increase the output to 92 revolutions, which should be something like 220 watts, right? And hold that for as long as possible. Well, not for as, I mean, ideally the target is half an hour, right? But given that my body is already fatigued going into this test, the idea is just to let's see how far I can go. Okay, so what we can see here, the black one is the most recent one, the red one is the previous one on the 18th of April. We can see that they're more or less the load is more or less the same, and then the deload, not de sorry load and then the push, more or less the same, more or less. What we can't see is the increase here, but anyway, so consistently same output for the load of the test, and then the push is more or less consistently the same. Okay, then heart rate is there. This one is really interesting, right? I mean, to be honest, I was feeling like shit going into this, as I always do. This is always like this test just fucking there's something in my mind about this test, because I really hate the start of it. But you can see my heart rate is actually really quite high. Um, Now remember, the both tests are more or less the same going into the load, yeah. But the thing is look at this. It's just, I think it was something like, I'm trying to remember, something like 112, 113, something like that. Was what it was starting off as. Maybe a bit higher anyway. And then it gradually decreased as the test went on. So like my body didn't, well, my mind as well just didn't want to start. Wanted to stay in bed and do nothing, eat some ice cream or something. Excuse me, but as I got going, it was like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing now. I'm ready to go, and my body was telling me yes, let's have it, because the heart rate was going down, although the power output is more or less the same. Excuse me again. Even at this point, right, my zone 2 starts at 104. I mean, you can clearly see there's points where it drops below 100, and like having to ride, and you've got the information in front of you. You see the power output, you see the revolutions, you see your heart rate, and you're trying to keep the revolutions the same, but then looking at their heart rate and going, why the fuck is it going down? even to the point where I'm having to increase my revolutions to get my heart back into zone 2, yeah, because it wanted to go down. So I don't know what that's about. I think this has happened before or something, maybe. Anyway, and then the push. So we can see, we can definitely see that there's an extension here, compared to the previous one, right? We're talking about, before I go on to the next one, we're talking about an increase in load going into the test, yeah, the Monday to Friday. What was it, 9.66 something increase in elevation, and was it a 6% increase in 9.66 in distance, 6% increase in elevation, yeah. So I've already worked harder, I've put my body through a lot more, but we've got two things here. Number one is how low my heart rate was actually going, yeah, and then number two is the extension at the end, yeah. Given that the load phase of this test, this bit and this bit, are more or less identical, yeah. Let's see what the so the 3 hour load, yeah. What's okay? There's, what is that? 2.37 difference. I mean, the minor 7, almost exactly. Well, yeah, just over 7.01 beats less, and then the revolutions more or less the same. So this and this are the same. This is massive. Well, I mean, I'm not a cardiologist, but I would definitely say that's quite a big difference, right? And then after the load, I should probably change that to push phase or something. I don't like that after load. I mean, it is after the load, but anyway, there was actually an increase in the watts. So I was pushing out like 5 watts more. My heart rate was like, what is that? 5.4 beats less. Revolutions is more probably linked, and then the duration in seconds is, what is that? 400 seconds. I don't know what that is in minutes, but it's it's long, right? In, Increased the weekly load going into the test, and then the test itself, we've got more or less the same, but a reduction in beats per minute, and then an increase in watts, and still a reduction in beats per minute. This is amazing results. I'm well chuffed with this lot. So overall, there's been a real improvement, right? It's not just physical though; it's mentally as well. Because there's definitely one thing that I've noticed is the psychological side of things. Like I was saying, with the fatigue test on Saturday, that is something that I really do struggle with. I really have to push myself to get out of bed, get ready, to get on the bike, and start riding. Yeah, this is a fight that I have, and similar to when I'm out as well, going down to Brighton. When I'm working, any day, there's always a side of you that just says, like, fucking hell, when does this stop? Like, when does it end? Let's have a break. Haven't we done enough? These are the things that run through your mind. It really is like a never-ending fight that you have with yourself. But it's just about having the drive, having the enthusiasm, to keep pushing, because the longer you keep going, the easier it gets. I'm certainly not saying that I'm expecting this to end. I'm not expecting a day where it's going to be like, okay, let me go and do the fatigue test. It's fine, why not? There's always that internal struggle. There's a physical side of things as well. Like when I was doing the test as well, there's a point that this is why I say that the target is half an hour, but already my body is in pain, right? Although my heart rate during that test wasn't nowhere near its maximum, there's my legs were the things that stopped me, because coming towards that end, when I got to 20 minutes, I was honestly, the thought in my mind was, fucking hell, I can just keep going. I feel like a god, just being able to ride. And then as soon as that thought stopped, it was like I was trying to ride through glue or something. Just pushing and feel it, like you can feel that you're pushing harder than you've done before. But the thing is the power is going down. And it's just like, what the fuck? Like your legs just cannot do any more. So there's the physical side of things, but there's also the mental side of things. An ongoing fight that you have with yourself, I guess. But the thing is once you keep going, once you keep pushing, you can definitely take yourself further than you have ever thought or even believed that you could do. This is what I'm going through right now. Is my belief, the belief that I have in myself, has now been exceeded. Like during this week with the work, the Monday to Thursday, I was so surprised. 210 kilometers each day. It's the furthest I've ever ridden in consecutive days, right? Going down to Brighton afterwards was just another, like, I cannot believe that I'm doing this. Doing that bastard fatigue test as well. Like, I couldn't believe that I had to push hard when I see my heart rate dropping down. That I had to start working harder. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, it's a real belief change in myself. So it's so interesting, this journey. But anyway, next week, right, is closing the we're getting through next week first. So next week is the deload week. So just having a break from what I've put myself through. Basically the rules are, this is something that I have to stick to, right? Is no alarm, just wake up naturally, right? Sleep is so important. Take a break at the halfway point. So 105 kilometers is going to be the distance, the target. So taking a break at about 60. And that's when I stop working as well. So working until 60 kilometres, take a break, and then just ride the remaining distance. I'm not out to prove anything. This is now, I have to respect what I've done and not push myself even further, because recovery is the most important thing now, because there should be like a natural improvement as the days go on. Like, I'm feeling a bit foggy in my mind. Everything's a bit slow mentally at the moment. I mean, my legs feel they've worked, right? I definitely know my legs have worked. So yeah, this fogginess, the I'm not going to say soreness, but the load that I'm carrying in my legs, as the week goes on, that'll dissipate, that'll go. As long as I stick to the rules, this is the important thing. If I start changing anything, waking up early, having less sleep, not taking a break, working too long, too much stress, then it's going to fuck everything up. Because the other thing is I have to make sure that I recover this week, because I need to do a ramp test. Ramp to failure test is what it's called, on Friday. So come back after work and then do the test. And that is a push yourself until you break test. So I have to be respectful of the process. Yeah, look after myself, so that I can then fuck myself up again. Why not? So that's it. Let's go, right? Easy.